The dense canopy of the ancient forest swallowed the daylight, casting a gloom that sent shivers down Nancy's spine. She was a seasoned wildlife photographer, but this dark corner of the world was unlike anything she had ever encountered. The trees loomed like silent sentinels, their twisted branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, grabbing at the ominous gray sky. Nancy had heard tales about this forest, a place where time seemed to stand still, and whispers of unseen creatures echoed through the twisted trunks. Intrigued and fueled by a desire for the perfect shot, she ventured deeper into the heart of the woods. Every step felt like a descent into an unknown abyss. As she wandered further, the ambient sounds of the forest changed. The familiar hum of insects and the distant calls of birds were replaced by an eerie silence. Even the rustle of leaves beneath her boots sounded muffled, as if the very ground conspired to stifle any noise. As dusk settled, Nancy realized she had lost track of time and direction. Panic clawed at her chest. She quickened her pace, but the labyrinthine pathways seemed to shift, denying her a clear path out. An inexplicable fog clung to the air, distorting the shapes of the trees into grotesque figures. Then, the first whisper reached her ears, a faint murmur that seemed to come from the very heart of the forest. "Nancy," it called, a voice both distant and hauntingly close. Her name hung in the air like a spectral presence, sending a chill down her spine. Ignoring the ominous call, Nancy pressed on, guided by the pale glow of the moon filtering through the twisted branches. Her heart pounded in her chest as the forest seemed to come alive with unseen watchers. Shadows danced around her, and her imagination conjured shapes that melted away when she turned to face them. Exhausted and disoriented, Nancy stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an otherworldly silver light. In the center stood an ancient tree, its bark etched with strange symbols. The whispers grew louder, and Nancy felt an unseen force compelling her to approach the mystical tree. As she reached out to touch its gnarled surface, a blinding light enveloped her. Nancy awoke with a start, her surroundings transformed. The once foreboding forest had given way to an ethereal dreamscape. The air shimmered with an otherworldly glow, and the trees stood tall and majestic, no longer twisted and malevolent. Confused and awestruck, Nancy surveyed her surroundings. The haunting whispers had ceased, replaced by an eerie calm. The mystical tree, now radiant with a soft, pulsating light, seemed to hold the secrets of the enigmatic forest. As Nancy approached the ancient tree, she noticed a series of engravings that told a cryptic tale. The symbols depicted a cycle of nature, life, and rebirth, a harmony disrupted by an external force. A profound sense of responsibility washed over her, as if she were chosen to set things right. With newfound purpose, Nancy delved into the heart of the forest. Guided by the symbols on the ancient tree, she encountered strange creatures, guardians of the forest, it seemed, whose eyes held the wisdom of ages. They whispered fragments of forgotten truths, urging her to restore balance. The journey was perilous, and Nancy faced trials that tested her courage and resolve. Yet each challenge brought her closer to unraveling the mysteries that bound the forest in darkness. Along the way, she uncovered the stories of those who had ventured here before, their fates entwined with the ancient magic. As Nancy neared the climax of her quest, the whispers returned, this time laden with urgency. The malevolent force that had disrupted the forest's harmony manifested itself, a shadowy figure with glowing eyes, the embodiment of all that sought to corrupt the sacred balance. In a final confrontation, Nancy confronted the malevolent force. The forest seemed to hold its breath as a battle of wills unfolded. With courage and the knowledge gleaned from her journey, Nancy channeled the ancient magic, dispelling the darkness that clung to the heart of the woods. As the malevolent force dissipated, the forest transformed once more. The twisted trees straightened, and the haunting whispers were replaced by the gentle rustle of leaves in the wind. The ancient tree, now a beacon of tranquility, pulsed with a serene energy. Nancy emerged from the once foreboding forest, forever changed by her encounter with the mystical realm. The enigmatic woods, once a source of fear, had become a testament to the delicate balance between light and darkness, and she carried its secrets with her as she stepped back into the realm of ordinary reality. With the malevolent force banished, the forest exhaled a sigh of relief. The ancient tree, now a symbol of restored balance, seemed to radiate gratitude. Nancy stood in the clearing, a witness to the transformation she had helped bring about. As she retraced her steps through the now serene woods, the creatures that had guided her nodded in acknowledgement, their eyes reflecting gratitude. The whispers, once haunting, now carried words of gratitude and wisdom, a soft melody that echoed through the leaves. Nancy emerged from the forest as the first light of dawn broke through the dense canopy. The once ominous shadows now played with the morning sun, creating a dance of light and darkness. She realized that her journey had not only saved the forest, but had also woven her fate into its intricate tapestry. Returning to the world she knew, Nancy carried the lessons learned in the heart of the mystical woods. The experience had transformed her, instilling a deep reverence for the delicate balance of nature and the unseen forces that governed it. Word of Nancy's extraordinary journey spread, capturing the imagination of those who heard it. Some dismissed it as a fanciful tale, while others, drawn by a sense of adventure, sought the entrance to the mysterious forests themselves. The whispers persisted, inviting those who were willing to listen into the embrace of the ancient magic. Nancy, now a keeper of the forest's secrets, found solace in sharing her story. She became a guardian of the delicate balance, advocating for the preservation of nature and the recognition of the unseen forces that shape the world. The haunting whispers, once a source of fear, became a soothing melody in her memory. As seasons changed and years passed, the enigmatic forest stood as a testament to the enduring harmony Nancy had helped restore. The mystical tree, its bark now adorned with new symbols representing the cycle of renewal, stood tall and proud. And so, the tale of Nancy and the dark forest became a whispered legend, a story of courage, transformation, and the profound connection between the seen and the unseen. The haunting echoes of the ancient woods lingered in the wind, carrying a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary adventures are born from the heart of darkness. Diego had always been drawn to the mysterious allure of the dense forest that loomed on the outskirts of his small, secluded town. The townsfolk spoke in hushed whispers about the woods, warning of unseen terrors and dark secrets that lay hidden beneath the thick canopy of ancient trees. Despite the ominous tales, Diego's curiosity got the better of him, compelling him to explore the shadows that beckoned from beyond the town's edge. One gloomy evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the landscape, Diego ventured into the heart of the forbidding woods. The trees stood tall and close together, their branches entwined like skeletal fingers, creating an impenetrable barrier against the fading daylight. As Diego delved deeper, the air grew colder, and an unsettling silence enveloped him. He felt a sense of unease, as though unseen eyes were watching his every move. The path he followed seemed to twist and turn, leading him deeper into the heart of the forest. Time lost its meaning as the trees closed in around him, and the darkness intensified. Diego pressed on, driven by a mixture of fear and fascination. The distant echoes of rustling leaves and mysterious whispers added to the eerie atmosphere. Diego's heart raced as he stumbled upon an ancient, dilapidated cabin. Its decaying walls bore the scars of time, and the windows were shattered, allowing the eerie moonlight to filter through the broken glass. The air inside was heavy with a musty smell, and Diego could sense the weight of the past that clung to the abandoned structure. As he explored further, Diego discovered tattered, faded photographs scattered on the dusty floor. Faces of people long forgotten stared back at him, frozen in time. The realization that the cabin had once been home to a family sent shivers down his spine. Whispers of tragedy and mystery hung in the air, and Diego couldn't shake the feeling that the forest held onto the memories of the past. Diego's exploration of the forsaken cabin had left him with more questions than answers. The unsettling silence of the dark woods persisted as he stepped back into the cold embrace of the night. A distant owl hooted, and the wind whispered through the branches, carrying with it an otherworldly chill. Compelled by an inexplicable force, Diego pressed on, guided by an unseen hand through the labyrinthine paths of the ancient forest. The shadows deepened, and the moon's feeble light struggled to pierce the thick foliage overhead. Strange symbols etched onto the gnarled trunks of the trees seemed to glow faintly, adding an ominous touch to the already eerie surroundings. As Diego navigated the twisted pathways, a spectral figure appeared in the distance. A woman, draped in tattered garments, stood beneath the gnarled branches of an ancient oak. Her hollow eyes met Diego's, and an ethereal voice resonated in his mind, recounting a tale of sorrow and despair. The woman spoke of a tragedy that had befallen her family, a curse that had bound them to the very heart of the forest. Diego listened in rapt attention, captivated by the ghostly figure's words. She implored him to uncover the truth, to break the shackles of the past that held her and her kin in the cold grip of the woods. Haunted by the woman's tale, Diego pressed on, driven by a newfound purpose. The forest seemed to react to his presence, its whispers growing louder as he delved deeper into its secrets. Strange apparitions flickered at the edge of his vision, and the very essence of the woods seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy. As Diego journeyed further, he stumbled upon an ancient altar, hidden amidst the gnarled roots of an ancient tree. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy as he examined the symbols carved into the stone surface. The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, revealing a tale of dark rituals and the desperate quest for power. The forest itself, it seemed, had become a vessel for the forbidden knowledge that had taken root within its depths. Diego realized that he stood at the crossroads of the living and the spectral, tasked with unraveling the mysteries that bound the lost souls to the heart of the woods. With newfound determination, Diego delved even deeper into the tangled labyrinth, where the darkness seemed to thicken with every step. The forest held its secrets close, and as Diego pressed on, he couldn't shake the feeling that the shadows themselves were closing in, whispering ancient secrets that begged to be forgotten. Diego, guided by the ghostly woman's tale, found himself standing before an ancient tree with twisted branches that seemed to reach for the heavens. The air crackled with an eerie energy, and the ground beneath him felt charged with the weight of forgotten sins. The symbols on the tree's bark glowed faintly, revealing the essence of a dark and sorrowful history. As Diego touched the gnarled trunk, a surge of images flooded his mind. He witnessed the tragedy that had befallen the family that once called the forest home, their desperate attempts to harness forbidden knowledge, the rituals that bound their souls to the very fabric of the woods. It became clear that the forest itself had become a living entity, a keeper of the secrets that transcended time. Haunted by the revelations, Diego felt a presence enveloping him, an ancient force that demanded resolution. The spectral woman appeared once more, her hollow eyes reflecting both sorrow and gratitude. She whispered words of release and redemption, urging Diego to break the cycle that bound her and her kin to the heart of the forest. Armed with newfound purpose, Diego embarked on a quest to uncover the means to break the curse. The forest, sensing his intentions, seemed to conspire against him. The shadows deepened, and the whispers grew into ominous voices that taunted him as he navigated the increasingly treacherous paths. Diego's journey led him to a long-forgotten shrine hidden deep within the forest. The shrine bore witness to the rituals that had unleashed the darkness within the woods. As he deciphered the ancient inscriptions, a ritual of purification revealed itself, one that required sacrifice and a profound understanding of the interconnectedness between the living and the spectral. The forest resisted the unraveling of its dark secrets, unleashing nightmarish visions to deter Diego from his quest. Yet, fueled by determination and guided by the spectral woman's ethereal presence, he pressed on. The final confrontation took place beneath the ancient oak, where the forest's malevolent energy converged. The air crackled with tension as Diego performed the ritual, a delicate dance between the living and the dead. The symbols on the tree glowed intensely, and the shadows seemed to recoil, unveiling the tortured spirits that had long been imprisoned. In a burst of ethereal light, the spectral woman and her family found release, their tortured souls finally set free. The forest, once shrouded in darkness, began to transform. The gnarled trees seemed to exhale, and a gentle breeze rustled through the leaves, carrying away the haunting whispers of the past. Diego emerged from the depths of the forest, the weight of the ancient curse lifted. The once forbidding woods now bore a tranquil air, and the moonlight bathed the landscape in a soft glow. As he stepped back into the town, the memories of his harrowing journey lingered, a testament to the thin veil between the living and the spectral, a veil that, for a brief moment, had been lifted in the heart of the dark woods.